Tom, 3 races today in the laser fleet in some pretty big conditions. Must have been a test of endurance for you guys.
Yeah, for sure. At the end of the race, end of race 3, the legs had just sort of given up. So yeah, it was tough. You saw who the fitter guys were come the end of the last race, and yeah, I'm buggered.
And how were your results in 3 races?
I'm not too sure exactly. I know I had a 3rd in the first race. I was leading and capsized on the last run. Seems to be my trademark move the last few weeks. Second race, not too good. I think I was an 8 or a 9. It's just couldn't get the boat to go really. And then the last race I won, so I finished on a good note, and yeah, but it was a very tough day.
And pretty big conditions, big swell, big breeze?
Yeah, it's a big cross swell out there, which usually suits me. Like it allows you to do different modes in the laser, go low and fast and high and slow at times, and yeah, I enjoyed it, but yeah, I've got to improve a bit more, I think.
And we've spoken a few times in the last couple of weeks about you becoming more of an all-rounder. It must also be nice to have some days and conditions which you do favour? Yeah,
for sure. I mean, always a strong wind is good for me, but geez, I felt quicker yesterday in the 8 knots than I did today in 25. So, I mean, I'm always improving sort of in my light air, but maybe I need to go back to working on my strong air.
And looking forward to the games just over a year ahead, it must be good to get a look at a range of conditions here in Weymouth.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're still getting conditions we've never seen before here. So, and generally we're getting a lot of wind here, but I know that we can get a lot of light stuff as well. So, just some more varied conditions, the better for us. So, I'm enjoying it.
Nikki Suter, Australian Women's Match Racing Team skipper. Nikki, how was day 2 of racing?
Yeah, had a good day today. A little bit more breeze than yesterday. We came out with 3 wins, 1 loss. What was quite good, we were ranking the harder ranked teams today. We raced Renee from the Netherlands, Celia from Finland, Anne-Claire from French, and Anna Schellberg from Sweden, so we're quite happy with our results. We had close racing. Penalties were going off in pretty much every race apart from the last race, and the majority of the time they worked in our favour. It was good.
So what does this mean for you guys?
That means we're through to Gold Fleet. So we are looking forward to racing tomorrow. We didn't have the best results in Palmer and here, so we didn't get to race the top teams like Lucy McGregor, Anna Tunnicliffe, Sally Barco. So we are looking forward to finally getting some racing against them, because it's been almost 6 months. So it'll be good to yeah, go out and use these next couple of days as practice days, as it's a seeding round for Gold Fleet, and try and work on a few things. New crew combinations, only been sailing together for 3 days now, so obviously there's a lot to work on, but we're quite happy with our progress so far.
And obviously you had great success here last year winning, with a new crew this year. How are you guys finding it together?
Yeah, it's good. We had the selection regatta coming into this event to see who Australian skippers were going to be steering this. So obviously the pressure was on for that selection regatta, and we just carried through the momentum, what seems to be working quite well for us so far.
And conditions today a little bit different to what you had yesterday morning.
Yeah, it's good. I haven't raced in the breeze in a while, so it's kind of good to get out there and do some racing in these conditions. Obviously I feel as though the breeze is my strength, so yeah, quite happy with the breeze, and hopefully it stays in for the rest of the regatta.
Matt and Mal just come back in after day 2 of racing here in Weymouth. Matt, how was day 2?
It was certainly better than day 1. I think we came over with a 7 and a 2. Conditions were a little bit windier, but yeah, you know, it's not top, but it's okay.
And Mal, in both of the races today, you're a little bit further back at the top marks and worked your way back through the fleet. How'd you find that today?
Yeah, that's never the best way to do the race, is it? But it was great to have the ability to, I suppose, pull yourself back into the race and make it, or they're all keepers from here on, especially after our first race. So to be able to pull it back and make it a single digit score is well worth it. You know, our downwind speed's really good, and it was great for that to be able to save our butts.
And Matt, it's pretty tight the whole way through the fleet, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we always knew this is probably going to be one of the hardest World Cup events, being the selection trials for the majority of teams. and us having a slightly different trial system sort of meant that we spent a lot of time in Medemlik last week. But it's fantastic racing, and we love being out here and love the conditions. So.
And Mouth's finally a bit nicer conditions for you guys to race in today?
Oh, so sure. Actually, the last race, especially in the second half of it, it got quite fresh, and we actually had some nice waves downwind, and it reminded us a lot of home. Where we train off Sydney, it can get a bit like that. But it was great to be able to play in the waves, and we love those conditions. Windier the better. So hopefully we'll roll on with a couple more days like that.
Nathan Outridge and Ian Jensen, Australian Sailing Team 49er crew. Nathan, a fair bit on out there today.
Yeah, it was pretty fresh today. We sort of had like maybe 18 to 22 knots for the most part, and a bit of a mean chop out there. We had the swell wrapping around Portland Island, and trying to get downwind on Port Jibe was near impossible at some points, but we managed to avoid most of the waves. We only had one bad capsize in the first race, but managed to recover to a 5th. So we're a 5 and a 2 today. We're pretty happy with that.
And Ian, after that capsize in the first race, you were a fair way back in the fleet, weren't you?
Yeah, we probably pulled it up and we were about 15th or 16th, but we had a pretty quick recovery, and up the next bit we caught sort of 4 or 5 and rounded the top in about 12th. But like Nathan was saying, it was almost impossible to get downwind, so there's probably 6 or 7 boats that loaded over on the next downwind, which enabled us to come through.
So pretty tricky conditions for everybody.
Yeah, very, very tricky. The waves are the killer. The breeze isn't too bad, but the waves are just shockers.
And Nate, complete opposite conditions to what you guys had yesterday?
Yeah, we go from racing in 2 knots yesterday to now, out there on the limit of the class, and very, very interesting, to have a big range of conditions in the first 2 days, and hopefully throughout the rest of the event we'll get a bit more of the range in the medium air, and sort of that's when 49ers have some really good racing, so we're really looking forward to that.